Today, millions of Americans are protesting Donald Trump's policies and are dissatisfied with his presidency. Something shocking is happening. They desperately want Barack Obama to return as president. Today, we are exploring how Obama's influence even shocked Donald Trump. But let's start with the big question. Why do Americans want Obama back as president? Obama influence. Barack Obama was born on August 4, 1961, in Hawaii, to a Kenyan dad and an American mom. From a young age, Obama aspired to change the world despite his challenging background. After his parents divorced, Obama moved to Seattle with his mom, then to Indonesia, where he learned about different religions and traditions. By age 10, back in Honolulu with his grandparents, Obama struggled with an identity crisis coupled with the absence of his dad. But these tough times built his strength, compassion, and identity. In 1979, Obama went to Occidental College, where his world grew bigger. Did you know his first speech fought against unfair race rules in South Africa, starting student protests, and growing his voice for fairness? When he switched to Columbia in 1981, he jumped into political science and international studies, where he learned about diplomacy. This time woke up his love for politics. In 1983, he wrote an article called "Breaking the War Mentality," which spotlighted student groups fighting against war and pushing for no more nuclear bombs during the Cold War. However, politics isn't just talk, it is action, and Obama understood that. After graduation, Obama moved to Chicago in 1985, where he sought a career in community organizing, turning his college ideas into helping real people. And just in case you are also wondering what community organizing is.
Well, a lot of people don't know what a community organizer is, and in fact, I didn't know what a community organizer was entirely when I became one. I had been inspired by the civil rights movement and the idea of people working at a grassroots level to bring about change, to get people involved in shaping their own destiny.
Obama became a community organizer with the Developing Communities Project in Chicago because he wanted to organize black folks. So how did Obama organize black folks? Obama created a network of underserved communities and organized them for great change. With a modest $13,000 annual salary, Obama initiated the job training program where he retrained unemployed residents, particularly those affected by factory closures, and partnered with churches to secure funding. With that development, Obama improved employment skills for adults and helped make summer jobs more accessible for teenagers on the South Side. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Obama initiated the college preparatory tutoring program to prepare low-income youth for higher education. He wanted everyone to be ready for the future, so he started a door-to-door advocacy, building a network among black churches to address shared community needs like crime prevention. This approach taught Obama the limits of local activism without legal tools, prompting his decision to attend law school. In the fall of 1988, at the age of 27, goal-oriented Obama enrolled at Harvard Law. From the first year, Obama's impact was pronounced, making him a notable student on campus.
One thing that made Barack different here was that he was older than most everybody else, because he took time off in between undergrad and grad school. And so he'd already had real-life experience. He'd already done a great deal of community service.
This established Obama as an influential figure on campus. In February 1990, Obama was elected the first black president of Harvard Law Review.
That my election symbolizes some progress, at least within the small confines of the legal community. I think it's real important to keep the focus on the broader world out there.
As president of the Law Review, Obama helped his divided team by making deals between liberals and conservatives by prioritizing ideas. This diplomatic style, drawn from his Chicago organizing experience, influenced the Review's operations and earned him respect despite criticisms. After graduating from Harvard Law in 1999, Obama returned to Chicago to address systemic inequalities affecting low-income and minority communities, one of which was the Illinois Project Vote, a nonpartisan voter registration drive aimed at increasing African American turnout for the 1992 election. Alongside 700 volunteers, Obama successfully registered approximately 150,000 of 400,000 unregistered African Americans in the state. His effort not only helped Carol Moseley Braun become the first African American woman elected to the U.S. Senate, but also boosted minority representation in elections. Since his days of community organizing, Obama's people-oriented policies have been consistent. And wouldn't we say the same for Donald Trump's profit-oriented policies? Let's take a look at Obama versus Trump's presidency. What if I told you that one president pushed through limits for Americans without personal financial upside, while the other leveraged his office to boost profits at his own hotels and properties through government spending and foreign patronage? For a fact, Obama's selfless drive for change versus Trump's profit-first playbook is not lost on Americans. Hear me out.
10 months ago in Paris, I said before the world that we needed a strong global agreement to reduce carbon pollution and to set the world on a low carbon course. The result was the Paris Agreement.
In 2016, Barack Obama led the U.S. into the Paris Climate Agreement, a global team-up to slash greenhouse gases, fight climate change, and help vulnerable countries adapt. No personal gain here. It was all about safeguarding our kids' world through cooperation, not cash. On the other hand, Donald Trump flipped the script in 2015 with profit-driven policies. He ditched rules to fight climate change, stopped cash for world programs like the Green Climate Fund, and cranked up oil and gas to boost U.S. energy. Trump calls it prosperity, but critics say it's a giveaway to oil giants, shielding their billions from clean energy shifts and eco rules. What do you think? Planet first or profits? But before you answer that, picture this. You're the world leader, facing a big fight with Iran. Will you pick peace for all, or tough moves that make money for some? Well, Barack Obama chose peace in 2015 with a deal called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. It puts strict rules and checks on Iran's nuclear program to stop it from making bombs. This calmed things down worldwide. No secret money motives, just teamwork for a safer planet. But in 2025, Donald Trump turns up the pressure. He hits Iran with big punishments, isolating Iran economically, and even green-lighting military hits on their nuke sites. He sells it as a tough defense, but experts point out it pumps up profits for U.S. arms makers, like selling tons to Saudi Arabia and Israel, and tweaks oil prices to boost American energy companies. But that wouldn't be the first time Donald Trump is building walls where Obama left bridges.
Today, the United States of America is changing its relationship with the people of Cuba. Through these changes, we intend to create more opportunities for the American and Cuban people.
In 2014, Obama initiated the normalization of the U.S.-Cuba relations, reopening embassies, easing travel restrictions, and promoting cultural exchanges to end over 50-years-old grudges. Why? Just humanitarian moves to reunite Cuban families and support Cuban civil society without greed-driven elements like resource extraction. But in 2025, Donald Trump slammed up walls. First, he added Cuba back to the state sponsors of terrorism list and pushed to enforce a strict embargo and ban on U.S. tourism. Trump calls it fighting for freedom, but dig deeper. It squeezes out chances for American companies in Cuba, while potentially benefiting domestic industries by reducing competition and appealing to political donors in key voter bases for electoral profit. Unlike Obama, Trump's strict immigration policies include more in case of emergency ICE raids, using the military for deportations, and deals with countries like Eswatini and Guatemala. People protest a lot because it splits families, ignores rights, and seems unfair to immigrants. This was in line with his 2024 promises and Project 2025's plan for tough borders. And Americans, they are protesting. In February 2025, they shut down cities like LA and Dallas with the Day Without Immigrants protest. And if you think the immigration policies are inconsiderate, then wait until I tell you about Trump's Project 2025. Project 2025 is a plan from the Heritage Foundation that Trump's team has grabbed onto. It aims to fire thousands of government workers, replace them with Trump loyalists, and slash rules on big agencies, all to boost profits for the rich, like Trump himself. Guess what? Elon Musk's Doge Group is amplifying this, causing job cuts at places like USAID and NSF, weaker protections for the environment, and more power for billionaires. As expected, many Americans are furious. They see it as a greedy power grab that hurts everyday folks and wrecks public service, and they are not holding back. On February 5th, massive 50,000 protests erupted across all 50 states in one day at capitals, with crowds waving signs like "Reject Fascism." But here is where it hurts for most Americans.
And I'm telling you, no matter where I went, people were suffering so badly with the ravages of Obamacare. And I will say this, that as far as I'm concerned, your premiums, they're going to start to come down. We're going to get this passed through the Senate.
Trump's dissatisfaction with Obamacare, coupled with his one big beautiful bill, has slashed funding for Medicare and Medicaid by $930 billion over a decade, potentially leaving 17 million Americans uninsured. Interestingly, this prioritizes tax cuts for the wealthy like Trump himself, while harming the poor, elderly, and the minorities, the very apple of Obama's eyes. It's no secret, Trump's policies have no place for these categories of citizens. Remember when Obama campaigned against Don't Ask, Don't Tell in 2010? Clinton's policy that barred openly gay, lesbian, and bisexual individuals from serving in the U.S. military? It was part of his commitment to LGBTQ+ equality and protection. Just for inclusivity, no personal benefits. On the other hand, Trump's policies prioritized conservative interests over equality, rolling back inclusive policies to please his wealthy conservative supporters who oppose LGBTQ+ rights. Interestingly, all of these are done under the guise of religious liberty to let businesses or groups refuse service. To this day, Obama's influences, fueled by selfless policies, philanthropy, and compassion, resonate with most Americans. His community-oriented approach to governance and influence on America remains a shock to Donald Trump, whose policies are profit-oriented. What do you think? Is Trump building his wealth from the presidency or working for the American people? Let me know in the comments section, and if you loved this video, check out my channel for more.